Hell yeah. Sports Rap. Sports Rap. Welcome back to Sports Rap Live, everybody, where the Martinez Report continues as we head to the 9 o'clock hour.
Who sings this song?
I don't know. I think Authentic Snoopy redid this song.
I don't know. Who sings the original version?
Lil Weezy.
Yeah, you already know.
No, it's Weezy and who? No,
Drake.
seriously. Who?
Drake.
Oh, Drake.
Drake.
When is he going to get
Drake
married so that we can stop hearing about him? Oh, my heart's broken. I can't get with this girl. She don't want me.
I'm ready for the
I can't
South
do
Park
life.
episode.
Dude,
I'm
get
ready.
married.
I'm ready. Get that hardware. Hurry up.
Ain't nobody
No, okay. I'm just sick and tired of hearing these radio songs from him. Oh, my heart's broken. I'm so sad. I'm lovesick.
Andrew
Dude,
Martinez,
get married.
Andrew Martinez's first mistake was telling someone to get married without getting a prenup.
Yeah, you
Now
better
that-
get your prenup.
Now that goes for man or woman, because you wasn't.
Well,
with
we
me
saw what happened to
shooting in
Kobe.
the gym.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Vanessa's getting. She was offered a
House on house on house.
House
on house on
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, apparently she was offered a gig on Basketball Wives and turned it down.
Oh,
So
that show.
that's yeah, exactly. She's a smart woman. She's a smart businesswoman now. That's for damn sure. All right, let's roll on in the Martinez Report. We got to head out to the baseball diamond.
Yep.
Let's take it to the kitchen because the hot stove is a cooking, and there's some things cooking over there at Minute Maid. And I don't know about this Jim Crane character coming into our city, wanting to change our team, change our logo. Andrew, your thoughts right off the bat.
Well, that's not the only thing. He wants to make some different changes that are more fan-friendly, so he's going to lower the ticket prices.
Oh, wait. He's also taking your hometown team to the American League.
Well, that was a stipulation on him bringing, getting the team. I'm not sure that he could have bought the team without the team moving to the AL. I'm not in favor of it. I know a lot of people aren't in favor of it. They like the NL flavor. They like the matchups and the rivalries they already have set up. And there's nothing we can really do about it other than accept it and move on. But I do like the initiatives he's taken of lowering the prices, trying to get more fans out there, trying to get younger fans out there, trying to get families out there. I think that's a really good first step. He's also going to allow, I'm not sure if people knew this, but Houston was one of the few cities from baseball that couldn't bring food out from the outside in. So now you're going to be able to bring in food if you have it in I think a clear bag, and you can also bring in bottled water as well. So that's going to maybe hope people in there thinking, oh, I'm going to have to spend all this money for food there at the stadium. You can go and buy a Subway or something like that, and take it in.
Bring your ghetto hot dogs.
Sure.
Warm them up at home.
Sure.
Bring your Crystal Light with your water. Get
Hot
your little
Pockets.
flavor on. There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, I mean,
all day.
In Mets Stadium, what is that? City Park? What do they call that?
City Field?
City Field.
City Field. Yeah.
Well, you can bring your dog in there to take
Nah,
a dump.
People get hot dogs to go. Yeah, when they go there. I'm telling you.
I got a question for you, Pete. There was a story that came out yesterday that there's a hot dog vendor there in New York that has a hot dog cart right across from Madison Square Garden, and he's infusing it with a $2,000 a bottle cognac, and he's selling these hot dogs for $100 a pop.
Wow.
Only in New York City.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen that before.
And I thought the hot dogs at Minute Maid Park were expensive.
No, that's not happening. I mean,
Getting back to the changes, Adam.
Okay.
The
state of the Astros.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the state of the Astros.
They're talking about changing possibly the team name and the team logo. It's totally up for debate right now. I think that this being the 50th anniversary, they're going to celebrate 50 years of the Astros name, the different logos. They're going to try and get a retro feel. After you celebrate 50 years of being the Astros and in Houston, you don't just throw that away and say, hey, you're 51. Now you're the Houston, shooters or whatever.
Well, that's my next
or the
question.
Wranglers or whatever you want to call them.
We're going to go down the table here just real quick. Gons,
Yes.
if I asked you to pick a new name to keep
Yeah.
pro baseball in Houston for the Astros, what would it be?
I'm going back Colt 45.
You like Colt 45,
Yeah, why
Andrew?
not?
Yeah, but malt liquor tastes bad. Bad is a word that
Hey,
I'll
at
use
least
for
I'll be able to
radio,
bring
but
it
tastes
in.
bad.
At least I'll be able to bring it in. Give yourself a rim shot on
Yeah,
that one.
exactly.
I don't know. I think I would go with something like the Wranglers. I like the Colt 45s as well. It's something to have to do with to be honest, I don't have a good answer for that.
Just dropped a Wranglers on us.
What do you? I think they're all bad choices.
How about the half Astros?
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna fly.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Premium Pete, if you were going to name a baseball team from the city of Houston, Texas, because you got so much Texas love, what would you name that team?
yeah, I mean, this is hard because I'm not from here, so I would need a little bit. I would definitely need a little bit more to be around here. But I mean, I don't know.
All right.
The Houstonians, I have no idea.
Well, hey, speaking of Houstonians and Houston, there's going to be, if things do change over there, there's going to be a lot of local game members that are not too happy But they're going to have to cover up those tattoos and get themselves a new tattoo, if you know what I'm saying.
Don't get us got, Adam.
No. Come on now. Come on now. I kid.
Well, how about Tattoo Drew? He got you.
Absolutely. Good plug. Absolutely. All right, well, hey, Andrew, some other baseball news. It pays to be a Prince, right?
Yeah, it sure does.
The Slugger gets his day in the sun, signing a 9-year, $215 million deal with Detroit after just a week ago. Detroit came out and said they're not gonna offer a long-term deal.
How much was that you said?
$215 million.
I need to speak to my guidance counselor.
That's a lot of vegan food at Whole Foods
Hey, well,
Market.
it pays to have Scott Boras. He's the best for a reason. I mean, he does his job. You might not like his tactics because he took your favorite player from your team, and that's probably how Brewers fans are feeling. But you know what? He did what his job was, and that's to get the most money for his client. No one thought that it would be this kind of money.
Who got him that money? Who's
No, there was.
Scott Boras.
Oh my God!
You know, hey, what's the movie Jerry Maguire? That was basically.
Show me the money.
Wasn't that based off of Scott Boras?
I'm not sure if it was or wasn't, but I mean it's kind of in the same vein.
Well, let me ask you this, Andrew. Does this make the Tigers a player in the American League this season, even after the Angels at Pujols, the Rangers come off back-to-back trips to the World Series?
You got Yu Darvish.
You got Yu Darvish now, and the Yankees bolster their rotation.
Yes, we got Pineda. I think it makes him a player, but here's the question: is they're losing Victor Martinez, they're getting Prince Fielder. Where is he going to play? Are they going to have 2 DHs now? I mean, is that a new rule in the American League? Because between him and Miguel Cabrera has already said that he's going to move to third base.
Oh.
That is going to be a disaster. Disaster.
Does he carry a flask in his back pocket?
No, he's too big. He's flat out too big. I mean, if you thought it was carrying around too much weight for Kung Fu Panda to play third base, I mean, he's even bigger than him. He is. Now, Miguel Cabrera is a very good player, but no one ages into third base.
You know the saying, tip the scales? They're literally going to tip the infield.
Well, they're probably as big as their interior line for the Lions. These guys are huge.
Absolutely.
I just think for defensively, this is going to be a disaster for them. They're going to be one of the worst teams in the American League for defensive-wise. Offensively, it's going to be great. It's just going to be tons and tons more scoring because you have 2 big boppers. They can protect each other in the lineup. I think if they can find anyone at the top of that lineup, to secure a spot, like Austin Jackson, I think the team's going to go really far.
Let's ask the callers out there and all of our listeners here on Sports Talk 790 and the iHeartRadio app to call in at 713-212-5790 and give us your best names. If you were going to change the Houston Astros name and logo, we'd love to take your calls on the Silverleaf Ghost Pepper hotline. I mentioned that the Yankees bolstered their rotation, and you said the name?
Michael Pineda.
Yes, and he was a stud for the Seattle Mariners.
He was. It's a really interesting trade between him and Jesus Montero because they're kind of guys that are right at the peak where they're about to become, big-time players, maybe perennial all-stars. So to trade a pitcher for a hitter, the Yankees' motto is, we got to get the young pitching because we can buy the bats. They've always been able to go out and get, like an A-Rod, get some of these other high-priced guys. So I think it's an interesting decision. We really haven't seen many trades like this. The only trade that really comes to mind is maybe the Josh Hamilton for Edinson Volquez trade, where they were both kind of young and at the same time, but it's a rare proposition. I think what's funny about this story is that, if one day Jesus Montero is good enough, he can one day get back to the Yankees. After the Mariners can't afford him anymore, he can one day eventually be a Yankee once again.
Not like Dion Navarro. They said the same thing about him, but we just let him keep on swimming and swimming and swimming. We never wanted him back.
Well, since we're talking about the Yankees, we mentioned at the top of the show, Jorge Posada had his press conference for his retirement.
Yeah.
Now, this is the core 4. You're talking Jeter, Mariano, Jorge, and
Pettit,
yeah.
And Andy Pettit, of course. Now, your thoughts at Premium Pete, who hails from Brooklyn. Big Yankees fan.
For me, it makes me feel that I'm getting older because I remember when he just came up. So that's something I always elaborate.
I remember whenever he was fighting for playing time with Girardi.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why ultimately he is retiring. I mean, Andrew's saying he can't play no more, but I really feel that he cannot get along with Girardi, because Girardi, if you remember throughout the season, you know, he got benched a couple of times. They didn't play him.
Well, there was a huge fiasco between him and maybe there was talk about like him leaving the team or whatnot because he didn't want to accept his role of not playing that day or accepting his role of the DH that day. I mean, that was one of the biggest stories I remember from this past season.
Exactly. I mean, I think when you put your time in, you kind of feel like, you know, you don't want to just, you know, if someone come in and just take that away from you.
Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Now, are you saying that with your Yankees hat on, or are you saying that as a fan of baseball?
A fan of baseball.
I think it's going to be close. I think he's going to get in.
He'll get in with the core 4 eventually.
Yeah, I think eventually.
Yep. All right, well, hey, spring training's right around the corner. Andrew Martinez, and you're going to have all of our bases covered. I think we might take a Kissimmee trip. How about that? You want to go out there?
Florida is much tougher to do as far as spring training than Arizona. I know the Astros are in Florida, but it's just such a drive to all the different locations out there. Arizona, it's pretty much all in one spot.
You know who could show us the ropes?
Who's that?
Scrunchy.
That's true.
Allison Footer. So we will holler at her and holler at Andrew Martinez at Antinez, ANDTINEZ on Twitter for all the baseball and college sports action you can handle. We're going to go to the top of the hour right now, and then you know what? We're going to get back into this NFL talk. We got a big game right around the corner, and I know Bun, he and Pete want to get their thoughts on the Super Bowl coming up real soon. So you guys stick around. We'll be right back here on Sports Wrap Live.